Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for tuning into another episode of Yo-Yo Store Rewind. My name is T from TokYo-Yo. Today we're going to be taking a look at a pretty new yo-yo. This one just came out very recently in August 2018. It's a signature model from YoYoFactory. Today we're going to be taking a look at the YoYoFactory Singularity. Alright, here's an up-close look at the Singularity. You know, when I first saw the shape, I thought it was kind of an H shape, but it kind of strikes me as more of a V. The rims do flatten out once it reaches the stainless steel here. You do have a little step up in the center there right before the response. The cup is flat with the engraving, and the rest of it is a very even rise up to the gap here. You're going to see the rim goes just around to the edge here and then stops, and actually it protrudes a little bit, the stainless steel rim here. You've got this laser engraving of Singularity, which I think is very, very hard to read, but we'll get into that. The material is 6061 aluminum with stainless steel rims. These are polished. They're very, very nice to look at. The feel is fine. I don't really feel anything strongly about it either way, actually. I didn't expect it to be that comfortable because of the H shape, but it actually feels pretty nice in the hand. There's nothing too wrong with it. It feels fine on catches. Doesn't feel that uncomfortable at all. It just feels, you know, pretty run-of-the-mill as far as the comfort is concerned. And the look, you know, it's a very basic bimetal. I think it's kind of utilitarian is the way I like to think of it. It, you know, has the step up there. It's got the extremely straight rise to the stainless steel rims, nice big rims, clamped on real tight. And besides that, it's just kind of your basic looking bimetal. It kind of ticks all the boxes you need a bimetal to tick. The one thing I will say that really stands out about the design for me is this color. I'm used to seeing a lot of different bimetals in that kind of aqua blue that you see on most of them, but this one is just really striking. This blue is incredibly intense and rich. I didn't really believe the pictures when I first saw it, but once you have it in your hand, and it's actually even more, like a little bit more turquoise than this that is showing up on the camera. It's just beautiful. So I've got this yo-yo from Yo-Yo Store Rewind for review purposes. This yo-yo, the Singularity from YoYoFactory, is the signature yo-yo of Izuru Hasumi, who's on the younger side. He just got started in yo-yoing when he was 11 a few years back. Been going to a lot of competitions recently, really starting to make a name for himself. And he also now works as part of the staff of Yo-Yo Store Rewind, so that's actually pretty cool. It kind of works out in the end. So he just got his own signature from YoYoFactory, who he just joined very recently, I think back in May. Izuru needed something that would kind of keep up with his speed. He's well known for speed combos and a lot of horizontal. So he kind of needed that nice stable shape that with the step that makes it really easy to do horizontal, doesn't go off plane easily, and something that could go through speed combos really well. This is also designed by SUS YOYO MECHANICS, which are the company that is responsible for making the Rockstar as well, the new version of the Rockstar. And you know, now that I think of that, now I hold them in my hand, they both have that kind of practical, blocky, kind of squarish feel to them. That kind of like, again, to use that word, utilitarian kind of feel. It feels very sturdy, very well put together. It feels almost like a machine more than a toy. And that's not a bad thing. There's something very, I don't know, there's something very tough feeling about it. As far as how the Singularity plays, this thing plays, I gotta say, it plays pretty heavy. Despite the weight and despite the fact that it's a bimetal, I feel like bimetals usually play really nimble and really fast. This one comes in around 64 grams at the weight. But it still plays a bit heavy despite that, and I'm not sure why that is, especially because Izuru is a speed player and a horizontal player. He's going to need to speed through combos and stuff, so I think my thing with this yo-yo is that I just haven't gotten used to its weight distribution yet, because the rim weight is extreme on this thing, and it does give it a really strong sense of heft and power, and so I just haven't really figured out how to take full advantage of it yet. So I'm sure once you get it going, it just goes super fast, but I definitely can't do that yet. This yo-yo plays methodical. I find it hard to understand how it would go fast, especially with my style. I go pretty slow. I prefer smoothness over speed. So I feel like this yo-yo definitely, in the hands of the right person, could pick up a lot more speed. And it feels very dense too. Because of that rim weight, it feels very blocked in. It feels like it's extremely solid because of that. It feels just like, I don't know, again, because of that extreme rim weight, it just plays with so much heft and so much power. Finger spins on the Singularity are not going to be much of a thing because of this engraving. I do want to kind of talk about the engraving for a second here. So if you can see right there, it says Singularity in this kind of crazy font. You've got the YoYoFactory and then some little stuff down there. But this engraving was really hard for me to figure out. I don't know if you guys can see it right off the bat, but it says Sing and then U layer at the middle line and then Iti at the bottom. And I had a really hard time seeing that at first. I must have spent like a good 10 minutes looking at it, trying to figure out where it said Singularity. But it's got that kind of space-agey font, so it's a little bit hard for me to see. In any case, I don't know why I started talking about that. The engraving makes it hard to fingerspin, and actually it doesn't feel very good at all to fingerspin on. It feels very like scratchy when you get a nail on it, so definitely doesn't feel good for fingerspins. It can do them, but maybe once you wear down the engraving a little bit, it's better at that. Finger grinds are pretty good, actually. The shape with the step makes it a little bit easier to get your finger in, so finger grinds are really no issue on this as long as you try to make sure you're not making any contact with the rims. So it plays strong, it plays with a lot of power. I feel like it plays a little bit more methodically. It plays with its weight and its extreme rim weight a little bit more. It doesn't stop it from moving along the string well. It's got just enough of a shape for you to get your whips and slacks and stuff like that in there. I don't know, it's just comfortable enough, I feel like. With that kind of shape, and when I first looked at the Singularity, I was wondering a little bit how it would feel in the hand, because typically H shapes aren't really built to be comfortable. But I feel like this has just enough of a V to it. The shape flares out just enough that it makes itself comfortable in the hand and on the catch too, which was something I was a little bit worried about. About the response, I don't know what kind of pads they're using in here. These are like, I think they're brown or yellow. I'm not sure what color these pads are. They just seem a little bit inconsistent. It could just be the string I'm using, but I don't think so. I'm using Rhapsody zipline strings, and those are very, very consistent with their binds. So I'm not sure about the response here. It could just be that it needs to be broken in, but I'm finding that most of my binds catch, but some of the riskier binds I try sometimes slip through. So it could be a gap width thing, or it could be the response. I'm not too sure on that. And there is just the tiniest little bit of nail vibe on this one, which is kind of typical for bimetals. I think the bar is being raised quite high for bimetals and the amount of vibe that they let get through. So the last few months or so of bimetals have been coming out that have been really, really smooth. This one has just a hint of nail vibe on it. You're gonna feel it on grind just a little bit, but on the string and stuff like that, it feels totally fine. And like I said in my last review of the origami, I feel like my standard for vibe is extremely high, and I feel like I'm kind of strict on that point, so it could just be me. But overall, you know, I think the Singularity is a very interesting yo-yo, and this is a very good example of a signature model. It definitely plays to Izuru Hasumi's style. It feels like it could be capable of a lot of speed if it's in the hands of someone who's more talented than me. And I definitely do feel like the shape and the step and everything about it gives it a lot of heft and power, which gets you through a lot of those long combos, and it's definitely going to help it keep on playing during horizontal as well. I feel like it plays a little bit heavy. I feel like it plays a little bit methodical, especially for a bimetal. But like I said before, signature models are intended to be made for that person or for someone who's into that person's style. So I think I would just need a little bit more time to get used to this. And I think if you kind of pick this up and you're not sure about it at first, you know, give the weight distribution a little bit of time to work on you. The longer I've been playing this, the longer I've been using it, the more I've been feeling like it's just a matter of extreme rim weight, and you just need to really figure out how to push that and how to get it moving and how to use that momentum to your advantage rather than feeling like it's too heavy to be moved. And it's not a rock on the string at all. It's just a little bit heavier, a little bit more powerful than the bimetals I'm used to. And when you get a bimetal, power is what you want, right? Anyway, boys and girls, thanks so much for watching Yo-Yo Store Rewind today. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave us a like, a comment, a subscription. We'd really appreciate it. Take care, have a nice day, and sayonara.